بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله حمد الشاكرين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد طب القلوب ودوائها ونور الأبصار وضيائها وعافية الأبدان وشفائها وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد كلما ذكرك الذاكرون وغفل عن ذكرك الغافلون. Today's subject is with regard to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa Al-Sharif and the city of Jerusalem for those who intend to visit the city of Baytul Maqdis and make ziyarah of the masjid, regarding which Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, لا تشد الرحال إلا إلى ثلاث المسجد الحرام والمسجد الأقصى ومسجدي هذا, which is what, that the rides are not prepared. You don't prepare any journey except three masajid. Which three masajid? Al-Masjid al-Haram, which is in Makkah al-Mukarramah, where the Kaaba al-Musharrafa is located, and then Al-Masjid al-Aqsa al-Sharif, and the third one is Al-Masjid al-Nabawi al-Sharif. These three masajid are emphasized in the hadith for their high esteem, high virtue in Islam. And of course, in Islam, the noblest cities are what? Makkah al-Mukarramah, al-Madinah al-Munawwarah, and then Baytul Maqdis, which is the city of Jerusalem. Damascus comes forth because the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam visited Damascus also in his childhood when he went on trade with Abu Talib. During that time, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam visited Damascus, and because of the location, having many Anbiya alayhi salam buried there and Sahaba alayhi ridwan buried in Damascus. Cities like Baghdad were constructed later. Baghdad was constructed in the Abbasi period. So there was no city of Baghdad during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So therefore, the fifth most important city may be the city of Cairo. And then you have a tartib of other cities also. But these three cities have an immense virtue because of the location of those masajid within those cities. And Makkah al-Mukarramah is designated as Al-Haram al-Sharif. Why is Makkah al-Mukarramah Al-Haram? Al-Haram means that the entire area is a sanctified area where people cannot go hunting for animals, they cannot uproot trees, with the exception of certain reasons. And the area is what deemed a sanctified area. That was sanctified in the time of Sayyiduna Ibrahim alayhi salam. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam had the city of Al-Madinatul Munawwarah declared a haram. So between Jabal Uhud, which is in the north of Al-Madinah Al-Munawwarah, and Jabal U'ayr, which is in the south of Al-Madinah Al-Munawwarah, whatever comes in between these two mountains, from north to south, is a part of Al-Haram Al-Nabawi. And then the Al-Harratu Al-Sharqiyah and Al-Harratu Al-Gharbiyah, which are the two lava tracts on the east and the west of Al-Madinah Al-Munawwarah. This signifies the boundary of the haram. So Makkah Al-Mukarramah is a haram and Al-Madinah Al-Munawwarah is al-haram. As for Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, the city itself is not a technical haram, but Sultan Salahuddin al-Ayyubi rahimahullah ta'ala, he would refer to the masjid complex, which is the Aqsa complex, as Al-Haram al-Sharif, not in the technical sense, but in the sense that that region is sanctified and can never be violated and tampered. The reason for doing that was after the emancipation and victory of Sultan Salahuddin al-Ayyubi rahimahullah, with his foresight, brilliant foresight, he declared that Masjid Aqsa complex as Al-Haram al-Sharif, so later generations of Muslims know that the entire complex cannot be violated. the violation of any part of the complex is a violation of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa itself. So, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa Al-Sharif itself, what is Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa Al-Sharif? Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa Al-Sharif is the land upon which the second masjid on earth was constructed. So the first masjid in the Sahih Hadith, it mentions that the first masjid that was constructed was in Makkah al-Mukarramah, and where Al-Ka'batul Musharrafa is located. So the Kaaba itself, Al-Ka'batul Musharrafa itself is rectangular. The original Kaaba was rectangular and it had two doors. One from where the Hatim, the semicircled area is located, and the second door is the current door. So people would enter one door and they would come out of the other door. Later on, there were a few times when the Kaaba was reconstructed. In history, there have been only a few times. One of those times was when the Quraysh reconstructed the Kaaba. When the Quraysh reconstructed the Kaaba, they left the semicircled area void. They placed what is known the wall, the semicircled wall, as a hatim. That is known as hatim. So today, when we go to the Kaaba, if you enter the hatim, you are actually entering the Kaaba itself. So the Kaaba originally is rectangular, not cube. The original structure is rectangular, but then later on the cube was made, and the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam left it as such. So Abdullah bin Zubayr radiyallahu anhuma did reconstruct the Kaaba rectangular. After which, when Hajjaj bin Yusuf, when he martyred Abdullah bin Zubayr radiyallahu anhuma, he returned the Kaaba back to its original shape, back to the cube shape. And similarly, the black cloth is not essential for the Kaaba, but it's become urf, the custom. So because of that, the people have kept the custom of the black cloth. The kiswa of the Kaaba does not need to be black. It can be any color, but the tradition has remained as a black kiswa. Now, Al-Masjid al-Haram was the first masjid constructed in the time of Sayyiduna Adam alayhi salam. 500 years later, on the site and the location of Al-Masjid al-Aqsa, the second masjid was constructed, which is Al-Masjid al-Aqsa al-Sharif. But where was it constructed? The current site that we have is known as the Aqsa complex. That is not only where the gold dome is located, or where the masjid at the front in the southern direction is located. That masjid that's there are two masjid buildings on the complex. But those two buildings are not only Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. The entire complex is Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. So the ground, when you enter the doors, you are entering the masjid. That is Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. But what is the history and how did we come to the current form of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa Sharif? As I mentioned, that 500 years after Al-Ka'batul Musharrafa was constructed, Sayyiduna Adam alayhi salam was commanded to construct the second masjid, which was Al-Masjid